When I was a little kid, my parents used to always encourage me to eat my fruits and vegetables. I was told I needed to eat them to grow up big and strong and be healthy. As it turns out, there is some validity behind that argument. Each year, more and more research finds that eating a diet predominantly based on plants is best for one's overall health. Its benefits have been touted to include weight loss, anti-inflammatory effects, and energy improvement. Consequently, each year, the plant-based or vegan diet grows in popularity. Many adopt the plant-based diet in hopes of reclaiming their health. But can one improve their health in just 30 days? This is the Plant-Based Project. This is Helen. She's a 50-something mother of 3 with a very busy lifestyle. Like many Americans, she grew up eating dairy, eggs, and meat, and out of habit, she still does. Over time, Helen has incurred some health problems such as hypothyroidism, high blood pressure, and eczema. This is where I come into play. My name is Sam, and I am Helen's youngest child. I have eaten plant-based for 3.5 years. This means I have not had dairy, eggs, or meat for that amount of time. Since starting to eat vegan, I have run 2 half marathons, numerous other long-distance races, and cleared my skin of acne. Needless to say, the plant-based diet has only had beneficial effects on my health. I came up with a challenge to try to improve my mom's health. The premise is simple. For 30 days, Helen will eat plant-based. She will remove all animal products from her diet, and I will document the process.
Following a plant-based diet sounds like a good from a health standpoint, but not from an enjoyment of food standpoint. My expectation is that there's probably not enough variety in it to keep you interested in your food. It sounds good in theory, but for me, it's not very practical because I like a variety of foods in my life. In a plant-based diet, I would hope to increase my mood, decrease my weight, increase my energy, and maybe even have glowing skin. I think the 30-day challenge would be very challenging for me. I could go for a couple of days, but I'm not sure I could do 30 days. Hi, this is my first weigh-in. Very embarrassing. It's I have an estimate on approximately how much I weigh, and I would like to weigh. Ideally, I'd like to lose 20 pounds, but realistically, it's not going to happen. So I'm shooting for 8 pounds or so would be good, and my clothes will fit even better. Some might actually be a little bit bigger. Anyway, this is my first weigh-in, so we'll see what the numbers tell us.
Helen's starting weight was 147.8, and her measurements were 38 inches, 31 inches, and 39 inches. Now it was time for the challenge to begin. After the holidays had finished and all the food had been consumed, it was time to start the challenge. It was January, the start of a new year, and the start of a new commitment for Helen. But it started off rocky.
Day 1 of the challenge was challenging.
What was challenging about it?
I was hungry. I wanted to eat all the time. I was going to eat my daughter's arm. Oh, I was so hungry yesterday that when we went to the supermarket to buy some things to bring them home and make them, I just couldn't wait to eat. So I had to buy a roll and some olives, and I was eating them on the way home from the supermarket because I just could not wait to eat. I was just starving. To make it easier for me in the future, I'm probably going to have to make sure I have all the foods in the house, enough quantity of the foods in the house that I like to eat in order for me not to be hungry on a regular basis throughout the day.
Helen experimented with her new diet and tried different plant-based substitutions for some of her old favorite foods, like cheese or chicken. It was only a few days in, but Helen was adapting easily to the plant-based diet.
My cravings for meat, I haven't really had a craving for meat. In fact, I was cooking meat the other day, and the smell of it, that was chicken, so the smell of the raw chicken actually didn't agree with me. It kind of made my stomach turn.
It's day 10, and it's time for my second weigh-in. I'm 144.4 pounds, which I think is down about 2 pounds in 10 days. So I guess it's good, but I have to eat now.
After the second weigh-in, Helen had already lost 3 pounds in just 10 days. She was fairly motivated to continue with the 30-day challenge. But besides weight loss, Helen wondered what other health benefits she could experience eating a vegan diet.
Potential benefits of the plant-based diet would be It's higher in fiber than the American diet, so that's very healthy when it comes to heart disease and also colon issues. It does help with keeping blood sugar under better control. A higher fiber intake has been linked to decreased colon cancer and decreased heart disease.
The plant-based or vegan diet has been touted to be one of the healthiest in the world. The diet is rich in fiber as well as many vitamins and minerals such as vitamin C, which protects against immune system deficiencies and even wrinkles, among many other things. Eating plant-based can also give one a large dose of calcium, which is important for bone health. If followed correctly and one eats a variety of plant-based foods, one can get all of their essential nutrients. However, there can be challenges to following a plant-based diet.
When you follow a vegan diet, you eliminate the entire meat group, as they call it, and that eliminates all the nutrients in that group. And it's important to know that protein, number one, is difficult because there's 22 essential amino acids in a complete protein. And in order to get the combination of those to make a complete protein using plant-based foods is very difficult. Also, heme iron is something that you cannot get on a plant-based diet.
Even though some difficulties can arise, if followed correctly, a vegan diet can be incredibly beneficial for one's health and even protect against life-threatening conditions such as diabetes and heart disease. This is especially evident in rural Okinawa, Japan, where the majority of people's diets is plants. In fact, eggs, dairy, and meat make up less than 1% of daily calories. Okinawans have some of the longest lifespans in the world, with the majority living past 100 and some even living up to 116 years old. Experts believe that along with regular exercise, the people in this region of the world thrive due to the high concentration of vitamins in their diet, as well as limited cholesterol and saturated fat. They eat lots of Okinawan purple sweet potato, and their diet is 80% carbohydrates. Along with vitamin-rich sweet potato, their diet is comprised of leafy green vegetables, rice, and flavonoid-rich soy, such as tofu. Their diet is in stark contrast to the standard American diet, which is heavy in salt, cholesterol, and fat.
Well, the standard American diet, recently on the news, they published that the sugar is the main culprit in the standard American diet. And we don't realize it until you're talking to people from other countries, and they actually point out to you that the American diet is so high in sugar. It's also very high in fat and high in sodium, specifically saturated fat. So that's something we're trying to limit in our diet to help with heart disease.
It's safe to say experts would recommend limited consumption of high saturated fat foods, like bacon and red meat, and an increased consumption of plants, because, after all, have you ever heard of broccoli causing obesity? The 30-day challenge continued for Helen. Although she was enjoying her diet, she did find it difficult at times.
The diet hasn't been too difficult so far. The only complication that I've had is if you go out to dinner. Sometimes some restaurants don't have vegan choices. The easiest restaurants to accommodate you would be Asian restaurants, because most of those have a lot of vegetable choices and tofu choices, and they're always willing to accommodate you to put in whatever it is that you want to have them in, if it's a certain vegetable, or take out a certain vegetable, or that kind of thing. So they're probably the easiest choices. It's just other places are, there's a lot of restaurants that just still don't have vegan choices, but you can order things without cheese or without meat.
However, usually Helen felt optimistic and even learned how to cook a new type of cuisine, vegan food.
It's actually not bad. It's actually pretty good. It tastes, it actually tastes like pretty authentic chili. It doesn't have any meat, but you don't really miss it that much.
Hi, I'm calling to get the most recent results of a blood test I had taken about 2 weeks ago. Oh, good. Oh, okay, good. 249. Last time I had it taken was in August, and this time was taken in January. So the HDL, which is the good cholesterol, went from 55 up to 62. The lousy cholesterol, the LDL, went from 162 down to 125. The triglycerides went from 162 down to 90, which is good. The total went went from 250 to 205. The cholesterol work really, the blood work really improved. Well, it's finally time for my final weigh-in, and I'm excited to see how we did. Well, let's try it out. So my final weight was 142.7, which was really good. It's I've been trying to lose weight, although not super hard, I guess. I just try to watch what I eat, but this helped push me over that little plateau of 145. So I was pretty surprised that in a month that I was able to get healthier in terms of all my blood work and lose some weight in the process. It wasn't as hard as I was expecting it to be. The hardest part for me was the dairy end of it, because I do like milk in my coffee and I do enjoy cheese. So I've definitely cut down on cheese. I mean, they have vegan cheese, which is good if you mix it in with different recipes, but not good if you're just eating a piece of cheese. It doesn't taste as good as real cheese. So there are some substitutes. You give and take to try to achieve your goals. So it wasn't as hard as I expected, but it was worthwhile.
So I wanted to know, will she continue eating this way?
I don't think I will continue eating as strictly as the vegan lifestyle calls for. I still plan on having some milk in my coffee because I love coffee and I have it every day and I prefer milk in it. I have definitely cut down on cheese and even meat. The meat doesn't really attract me. Once in a while, a piece of fish, maybe a piece of chicken, but certainly not every day and not even every other day. It would be more as flavor in a recipe, as almost like a side dish as opposed to the main dish. But I won't follow it strictly, but some of the tenets of the vegan diet I will continue to use.
The 30-day plant-based challenge ended up going better than I expected. My mom ended up easily sticking to a plant-based diet throughout the entire month, and in doing so, she improved her energy, her cholesterol levels, and even lost weight. I am now even more convinced that eating a plant-based diet is best for one's overall health and well-being. If you or someone you know is interested in a plant-based diet, I'd say go for it. There's nothing to lose, but a whole lot to gain.